Hi. So I was checking my camera this morning. I was like, I wonder what would happen if I installed, not my camera, my phone, and what would happen if I installed termux, which is a command line interface, and it's like command line is like just the text, just the talking with the computer on, like, if you don't know, like a command prompt, like where you can just, like, Windows has it, Linux has it, they all have it, where you can just go in and like type commands to the computer without using the graphical interface, like the icons and the windows and all that. So it's just a black screen with a prompt, sort of like a Word document, but the prompt's usually at the bottom of the page instead of the top of the page, and then you just type in, like, you know, whatever command, like. But the Termux is Linux based, so I was doing like piano bar and links and stuff like that. Links is like a command line web browser, so it's just text only on a black screen. And a phone is OLED, so like LCD is always back, always has light. So even when the screen's black, there's still light coming out of the black because it's not fully black. It's just there's just less light. But OLED on your phone, the individual pixels just turn off, so it is completely devoid of light. So when you use a command line, there's like nothing. It's just text, and anything that's not white text or whatever color you make it, it's just black. It's off. So it's no different than looking at a piece of paper. There's no light, except there is a refresh rate. But I wanted to test to see if it was a refresh rate causing my neck to tense up on the back there on my the C1 vertebrae top of my skull. I wanted to see, like, is it refresh rate or is it the light? Because I can look at my lamp and my neck doesn't tense up, although there's a cover over the lamp. Maybe I should just test it by looking directly into a bulb or a flashlight. But anyhow, so my neck didn't tense up. So I'm looking, I'm like holding the phone up to me. I'm like typing and doing all this. And what I would do is I'd flip the phone around and then look at the back of it, or like look away from it, right? And just see for a second, like, and just try and relax when I'm looking away. And as my neck loosen up. So now it's just loosened up because I was looking at the screen. And these orange glasses help, but they don't completely eliminate it. So, like, if I take these off, it's more like getting in my eyes. Just a sec. So, so I'm looking in this Termux program on my phone. It's just all black screen, some text, and I have no tightness. Like, I flip the phone around, I look away, nothing loosens up, nothing tightens up when I'm using my phone. So it's just like light sensitivity, light shining directly in my eyes is causing my neck to tense up, which is greatly exacerbating like the craniocervical instability, because it's just the muscles are just really just like holding on. And I don't know why, but um, I have to make a conscious. It's not an unconscious thing that happens that makes them tighten, and I have to consciously focus to just relax. And I can consciously focus to relax them while I'm looking at the phone. But it's really a big effort. Like, you have to, like, I can't do other things. Like, I can't focus on reading something or doing anything. So I can just, like, it's really hard to just relax. It's sort of um, like imagine someone is, uh, I don't know, doing something really stimulating to you, like shocking you or yelling at you or doing something, and you're like tensing up, and you have to like consciously like completely relax, like while it's happening, and not tense up. And you could do that, but you have to like make a mental effort to do it. Uh, so I'm not sure that I can use a computer or a phone and not tense up my neck because then I'd have to focus all the time on not tensing up, and I'd still tense up probably a little bit, maybe only 10% of what I was doing, but still somewhat. So I'm still tensing my neck and then not being able to focus on what I'm doing. And oh, yeah, so the muscles get really tired. So then they're already atrophied. My ligaments are damaged, and things aren't aligned properly with the curve, which also exacerbates the strain on my neck. So losing the muscle because they're fatigued means I can't do anything. It means I'm bedbound. So like I could use my phone or my computer for 5 minutes, or I could go for a walk for an hour, and both strain my neck the same. So it's like obviously I don't want to use the phone or computer at all. I just want to. I mean, it's hurting my neck now just to do this a lot, but it's like I want to get the message out that this is the real thing. Like the actual light shining in your eyes, and I've confirmed this to other people. Like for it probably affects everyone, but some people more than others, and yeah. So it it's that's I think that's the issue, is the light shining in my eyes. And like so if I use command line, I can do stuff on my phone. I still have issues where like even if I use like a pencil and paper and I'm holding it up in front of me and writing on it, or if I'm reading from a book close, like there's still some extra strain on my neck, and I don't like doing it for long periods. Like I could read a book for like 5 minutes, no problem, but if I want to read a book for like an hour, it's like ow, like I can't, you know. Maybe if I like had a stand where it like holds it up and I can just completely relax and just look at it. But I imagine there's still gonna be some strain looking at something up close and moving my eyes across the page over and over and over, and but it's much less than having the light shine directly in my eyes. So I think the backlit screen is what causes the eye strain, which causes the neck muscles to tense up, which weakens them. So now when I'm moving around, those muscles can't hold my head up. There's more strain on the ligaments. Whereas like the muscles would take the bulk of the weight of my head moving it around. Now the ligaments are taking more. And so because the ligaments are taking more for long periods of time, that can degrade the tissue, will literally fall apart. You go from ligament inflammation to ligament. It's like itis and osis. Like itis is the inflammation. Osis is when it's just the actual cells are breaking down. The connections between the fibers are breaking down, and it's just falling apart and going back into my bloodstream. And just they're literally falling apart. So I think if if you have problems with connective tissue in your neck, that's why looking at screens is bad, because you will use your muscles more because of the light shining directly into your eyes. And if you can relax and it's not an issue, then it's not an issue. But if you have but I think for everyone it will be an issue. Period. Because it's irritating, right? Like if you look up in the like try looking at the sun and not tensing your neck, right? Like now the sun's obviously bad. It's there's a ton of radiation coming from the sun compared to your phone going into your eyes. But it's just to say like that it is true of everyone. It's just how well you can tolerate it. Like, see, I worked for years in front of a computer. I spent a lot of time working in front of a computer, so my eyes have had a lot of radiation. So they might be more sensitive. And I know that people who have loss of cervical curve and have brainstem compression also, on top of that, tend to be more sensitive to light. So if you have some loss of cervical curve, then you're even more vulnerable to having the radiation irritate your eyes for whatever reason. So yeah, it's just stressful to think about all this too. So yeah, so all this and it compounds and it gets worse. So yeah, so I have like PTSD from this. I don't say that lightly. I know people have like real trauma from like actual battles and shit. Um, and I'm not saying it lightly. Like I have extreme anxiety and stress, panic attacks. I don't use it lightly. All respect to people that go through intense trauma, but I've been through intense trauma. I mean, you can't wake up every day and pray for death. You know, at that point you're like, okay, this person's traumatized. You know, and I'm severely traumatized. Like, I imagine if I mean, like my brother, he died horribly, and I couldn't save his life, and that was nothing compared to this. You know, the day that my brother died and the trauma and the months afterward, piece of cake compared to this. This is horrible. So there's so anyways, that obviously is could be part of it. But I just wanted to talk about the light because I have talked with other people who I'm like, are you guys light sensitive? Like, are you guys look at computers? Like people with upper cervical damage in the PICL group. I'm like, is anybody here? Like they get vertigo, their neck tightens up and it burns. Like they can't when you look at the screen, and a lot of people chime in like, yeah, it's the same thing. Like I can't do it. So now my ligaments are very weak. I also have Lyme and Bartonella, which weaken connective tissue throughout my body. I think the Bartonella does it more. So it's not just my neck; it's everywhere. My elbows are more weak. My wrists are more weak. My knees. So this is a thing that I think affects everyone. Period. If you're human and you're looking at us having light shine directly in your eyes from a LCD or LED screen, it's going to cause your neck to tense up somewhat. And in addition to the poor ergonomics, and you're straining your neck, you're like bent at opposition, you're holding your neck up. So all these things together. But I think that, but for sure, the actual light shining in my eyes caused my neck to tighten up. And when I look at the termux and the command line, I have no tension in my neck at all, except whatever it is when I'm like trying to hold an object close to me. Like same as if like I hold this like notebook up and it's close to me and I'm like writing on it or whatever, eventually my neck starts to hurt. There's some strain from that, but immediately my neck tightens up when I look at the screen, and it's happening right now significantly. I'm in a lot of pain right now, but I wanted to get this message out to say I found that out. So